Hello, let's talk for a few moments about scoring. Scoring is a very important procedure for students that are doing PACE work. Every day, scoring needs to be a part of the routine. Scoring has several purposes. One, it immediately provides feedback to the student and to you so that you are aware that, number one, they are grasping the materials and are able to be affirmed that, yes, they are doing the correct thing. And number two, if they're off on something, if they are not completely grasping and understanding something, it allows for an immediate course correction so that the student can then realize, oh, this is the error that I'm making. You can perhaps help them as needed, but they'll be able to be aware that, oh, I need to do it this way, not this way. It gives immediate reinforcement that is so necessary. Proper daily scoring will result in more successful and higher grades on tests, self-tests, quizzes, checkups, etc. So let's talk about how scoring looks. There are a couple of different kind of score keys that will be provided. Some students, particularly in lower grades, will have score keys that are like this. It is score key 1 that matches the PACE. It will look exactly like the PACE, except on the front it will say what? Score key. Now, as a reminder, score keys, students should not have carte blanche access to score keys. Score keys need to be supervised by the parent or the responsible adult at all times, and students should be granted permission to access them. It should be, students should only use them under the supervision of the responsible adult because we don't want the students, obviously, to go up to the area where the score keys are being kept. Again, they shouldn't have access to the score key while they're doing their work. It should be separate in a separate area. We don't want them to go up, grab the score key, and just start copying answers, because this is how it works. On a score key like this, opening up the page to the very first page, they will have a scenario like this. All the answers will be given on all the different pages. And really, what is scoring? Scoring is simply going up and matching. It's simply going up and matching. Let's do a sample scoring page together. This is an English PACE. It's the second page of the English PACE. Here is the score key, which matches perfectly to the PACE page. And so simply, it's a matter of matching. Is what I have the same thing as what the score key has? And again, I match. Notice how I'm moving my finger along. But if I look here, I see, oh, I've got one incorrect. So then I would mark it with an X, incorrect. Now, in this, I'm using a red pen, and I highly recommend that you use a red pen and only allow that red pen to be used at the score station. But I mark it here. Notice that typically I would be able to mark it on the number. If this was wrong, I would just mark the number, put the X on the number. That's the easiest way to work things. But in this case, there are no numbers, so I'm going to put it up in the corner here for this particular spot. And again, I simply go through and compare, and I'm matching. It's very simple. It's not hard to do. Match, yes, yes. Again, I'm affirming right or wrong. Oh, this one is not the same. It doesn't match, so I mark it as incorrect. And I'm getting immediate feedback that for the most part, I am doing this correctly. In fact, I did the whole thing with only 2 answers incorrect. So what's the procedure now? Well, now I will take that and I will return, leave the pen there and leave the score key here and close it up. Typically, I will leave this score key here and I will go back to my workstation and correct them. Let me demonstrate how the correction should work. Again, the red pen shouldn't be where the work is being done, but I'll take my pencil and I will go ahead and look at the one that I had incorrect and realize, oh, dog, cat, mice go together, but quick is the off word. And I will erase it and change it. As simple as that. Looking at this one, my, me, mine, oh, mile. Got confused there. So I will erase and put the correct answer, realizing, oh, now I know that this is the correct answer because mile is not associated with the other 3 words as such. Once that is done, then I will go back and rescore. What is rescoring like? Well, rescoring is when I leave my pencil here, but I come back to this area where I'm going to be scoring, and I take my red pen, and once again, I open the score key up, and I match. But this time I know I only have to do the 2 that are wrong. So I look to see, oh, yes. And when it's correct, now that I have the correct answer, I will circle it. Same thing down here. Yes, it's correct, so I will circle it. Now, all of this page has been scored and rescored. Scored, gone back and corrected, now rescored. And when everything on the page is correct, I would then circle this page at the bottom. Why would I do that? Well, that's an indication that this page is not only correct, but also scored and rescored. Now, for instance, if I did this whole page and there was absolutely nothing wrong, how would I know that it had been scored? Well, I wouldn't unless I circle the bottom page. But you only circle the bottom page when everything on the page has been done and is now correct. And if there's any rescoring, etc., that needs to be done, you do that first. So there you have the basics of the scoring procedure. Those procedures are also available in your student handbook, laid out very carefully on a page, the laws of scoring, and it lays each step and procedure out. Please reference that regularly as needed. And then just a reminder, we have this basic score key type, however, which we showed a sample of. It's a match, one score key per one pace. However, often there will be a scenario where you will have 3 score keys contained in one booklet. And the procedure is exactly the same, but the method for finding the material is different because each page will have 2 pages. So pages 1 and 2 will be here, etc. You'll see 4 pages in this section. So how do you find which is which? Well, each will be indicated. This is Social Studies 1028, and the page number will obviously be indicated over in the corner, right? So you will see those there. This will have page 1028, 1029, and 1030. And again, just a reminder, when the student is scoring, this score key should not be here. Oh, you see that there's a score key here. When the student is scoring, this should have already been removed and placed in the red binder for storage. So just a reminder, students should never see the score key. Here's a couple of other real quick tips when it comes to scoring. If you find that your child is scoring to the score key an excessive amount of times, you may want to follow them and look over their shoulders a little bit more carefully. This is certainly something that needs to be monitored closely. If they're going back multiple times, it probably indicates that they're having trouble grasping a concept. You may need to sit down with them, review the material, review the steps that they're following, and make sure that they're following the proper methodology for completing the work as outlined in the curriculum. So those are your basic scoring procedures. I hope that helps you. Let us know if you have any questions or need any assistance in this area.